Yeah.
And if I title it Uncomfortable Cheesesteaks with a Black Man, don't take offense.
Yeah. No, bro. You too, man.
It's for the clicks.
Welcome to episode 2 of Cheesesteaks with, for now exclusive to YouTube, and I am excited to say that this episode is featuring the one and only Mohamed. If you haven't seen the other videos with him, I'll put the link in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.
I'm so glad we finally got this to happen. What's up, dude? How are you?
You already know, bro.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too. It's been a minute.
I'm gonna leave the lights on so they can see us. So that's cool.
You know, you already know. It's cool.
So what's up, man? How you been?
Life, man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Dude, we were gonna link up that one night and you never came through.
I know, dude. I've been busy. Man.
I was sitting at the bar all by myself. I was telling the bartender, I was like, I swear I got a friend coming. I'm not just drinking, because it was like a Tuesday night too. So there I am drinking by myself on a Tuesday night, looking like I got a problem. Because I was bored, man. I was throwing up there. I was like, I swear someone's coming. Oh no, it's all good.
Man. Yeah, you know, I get caught up, man. I get caught up with stuff. You know, like mom's being a firstborn for mom. You know, you got all this big brother expectations. And the man in the house expectation.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Where are you? You know, because I have all like girls, like my sisters. You know, so
how many sisters?
I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
And 1 little brother. So all these girls, sometimes they need some manly stuff. And I have to be the person to do it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
That's why I get cut out a lot of stuff. And a lot of times they ask last minute.
Right. You'll be there for 25, 30 minutes, and then right before you're about to leave, they're like, oh, could you do this? And it takes like half an hour to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, why did you just tell me when I first got here?
Like, it's the same thing with my mom, right?
Yeah.
Like me and my mom, when I go to visit her, we would talk for like hours, an hour or 2, right? We would talk. But then, you know, by the time I'm ready to go, then she'll be like, hey, I forgot to ask you this. I'm like, Mom, the whole time I was here.
Right.
I'm ready to go. Like, oh my God. It's like they all act similar, bro.
It always goes like that. That's how it always goes. Oh man, I don't know if you noticed, that was a cop to the left of us.
Yeah, I saw it.
And I know I got a tail light out that I gotta fix. Somebody just told me. I just found out 2 days ago. So I'm like, and I always feel terrible driving around with these lights on. I'm like, I look like such a jackass. So I was like, oh man, I hope he doesn't give me a hard time.
Nah, I don't think they'll pull you up for that, for the light.
Yeah, but it's just like weird looking, you know?
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
it's
it's
weird,
drawing
like,
attention to yourself. And then I got a light out. But in Philly, I know we're not in Philly, but in Philly, they just stopped pulling people over for minor infractions, and broken taillights is one of them. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah. But ironically enough, dude, that's kind of something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I remember our conversation that we had revolve around that a lot. But man, I always think about the number of events that had to happen for us to reconnect. You know what I mean? Like, that's so crazy. Like, just from the jump, just the fact that you sat in the front seat of the car, it's like, that's why we had a conversation, you know? Because most of the time when people sit in the back, we don't talk as much, you know?
Yeah.
So you choose to sit in the front. You notice the dash camera, which you'll be surprised how many people don't notice the dash camera, which I think is like totally crazy. Because like you see, it's like a giant screen that's lighting up the car. Like, how can you not notice it? And then I'll say like, oh, this ride's recording. Like, you're recording this? It's like, yeah, don't you see this thing lighting up the car?
Yeah. And a lot of time with technology, bro, with like cell phones and everything, people come in the car, staring at their cell phone. They don't pay attention to their surroundings.
That's a really good point.
You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times they don't even know what's going on.
That is a really good point.
They don't even acknowledge the camera because they're busy on their phone. Like, you know what I mean? Like technology.
That's a really good point. But I mean, you notice it right away, and it sparks such a great conversation. And then you know, to reconnect. I mean, we're neighbors, but like we only crossed paths because your car got stuck, and I happened to be going to the post office. Yep. Like if it didn't snow, if you left a little earlier, or I left a little earlier, or whatever it is, like there were just so many events that had to happen. So I just think the fact that we came full circle and like we're neighbors now, it's just absolutely insane.
It's
but
crazy, but a lot of times people have different schedules, bro. That's why we neighbors, but we don't see each other as much.
Right.
Because different schedule, Sometimes I do overnight.
Right. Oh, you're working overnight?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew sometimes you work later. I never knew you did overnight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do a lot of overnight, especially on the weekends. Now, during the week, I work 9 to 5. Like, 9 to 5 during the week. The weekend, I work overnight.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, when I'm working 9 to 5, when I get off, I go play soccer and then go to my family.
Right.
So by the time I come, you go to bed early.
Right.
You're knocked out.
Yeah, I know. And I always feel so bad because I wake up because I get up early. So I'll get up at like 4:45, 5 a.m. And I always see a text from you at like 10 o'clock. It's like, hey, I'm headed to the bar. I'm like, oh my God, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
In my younger years, maybe, but
right.
Because I also know you got the energy for it. Because I remember the one night we were out till like. It was like, I think we were there till the bar closed. Yeah. And you're like, I got to get up tomorrow and playing soccer in South Philly. I was like, oh my gosh. At like 6 a.m. you were playing or something like that.
Yeah.
But you also say, you're like, they say they meet at 6, but it's usually not till like 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's African time, bro.
Is that how it goes?
6 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Armenians are like that too, my mom always said. Whenever they said it's like a party at like, 6 at night, she's like, yeah, but we'll show up at 7:30, and it would drive my dad crazy.
I interrupt this program to say that I definitely need to structure this thing a little better, mainly the part about getting, eating, and grading the cheesesteaks. Shout out to Mohamed for being patient with me. For this one, we visited the classic Jim Steaks in Delco. Only my second episode, but it's the first time me and a guest disagree on the rating.
My damn, bro, there's a mess in there.
Cool.
There you go. Oh, man.
So, I see you don't like the cheese. Thank you. You don't like the cheesesteak from Coco's?
Coco's,
right?
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, but I just wanted time in the car with you, so I figured we'd drive. Because that would be our home one. But they, dude, I don't know if you ever had a cheesesteak stromboli from there. That's probably one of my most favorite meals in the entire world. Yeah, and then they got really good pizza too. Yeah, I know you're not hungry, but you'll have to give it a whirl just to try it out. But no, man, I wanted to chat because part of reconnecting, I thought it was so funny was, we had that video, and that video was up for like, I don't even know how long it was up. It was up for like 6 months, a year, I don't even know. And it didn't really get that many views. It was titled Great Conversation with Mohamed.
Right.
Nobody looked at it, right? So then I saw this guy, Emmanuel Acho, I think his name is. He played for the Eagles. He's like a host on Dancing with the Stars now. He had this series called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And it was all revolving around race and, stuff like that. But a lot of the conversations were similar to the things we talked about, like police reform and all this kind of stuff, right? And this was getting millions of views and people were loving it. And something about that I'll admit drove me kind of crazy was it was so forced and unrealistic, and there was no sort of pushback at all. It was just like you say something, and it was just like it was a little too kumbaya for me, if you know what I mean. Like it was too like this is the way it is, and there's no other way. And I really liked our conversation. And the other thing that bothered me was how it was presented as if it was like some sort of like, unicorn. Like, oh my God, people from different races are having a conversation. And in my head, I'm like, that happens every day across the world, but especially in the Uber. And, I thought of our video and stuff like that because we talked about a lot of the same things. So what I did was I changed the title to match his title. It was almost like a parody. Right. And the top comment, I say something like, because if you don't know that video, you'll be like, uncomfortable conversation with a black man. Like, this wasn't uncomfortable at all.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. And
it's stuff that happened,
But so long story long. I ran into you like a week after I changed the title. And you're like, you didn't happen to see the video.
Yeah.
So you were like, send me the video. And I was like, oh, man, I just, like, 2 weeks before it was called Great Conversation with Mohamed. Yeah. And now I'm seeing this guy that I only met one other time by Uber. And I'm sending him this video entitled Uncomfortable Conversation with a Black Man. I hope you didn't take offense to that title in any way, because I didn't find it uncomfortable at all.
No. At the end of the day, I'm a black man. You know?
Yeah.
Black man. It's just really obvious.
Something that
There's nothing wrong with that.
Something that I learned from that though was I read this in an article once. America, it craves racial tension. You know, like America, when it was great conversation, nobody was interested. But when it was uncomfortable conversation, it's like, oh, what's going on here? And it's crazy because a lot of, I don't know if you read the comments, but a lot of the comments, other than people loving you, was like, this wasn't uncomfortable at all. This was clickbait. And in my head, I'm like, that's a reflection of you, to a sense, as the viewer, whoever clicked it.
Right.
Like, you're clicking it because you want to see an uncomfortable conversation. You know what I mean? Like, so what does that say about you, you know?
Basically, I feel like around that time, and maybe in America, the way people brain has been washed is like, now people just feel like everything is about negativity, you know, like two people from different races can get along. You know, so it's like the norm now. You know, people want to see that all the time.
Right.
That's why when you choose the title, people want to come and see it. You know, oh, let me see what's going on. It's like damn, two people can get along.
Right.
Because they're from different part of the world or they have different skin color.
Right.
Like, why that has to be something to draw attention?
Right.
You know, it should be a normal thing.
It's weird to me how much they want to see it. You know what I mean? And it's also funny to me, like, when I think of our differences, like, obviously, we do have different skin colors, but, like, what makes us different, to me, is you grew up on a different continent, you know? Like, that's
different.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a different experience than, you know, skin color.
That's how I look at life, man. Like, I don't judge people based on their ethnicity, their religion, their sexual orientation. I don't, because it's just wrong. Everybody's different in their own right. Around that time, all that police brutality was going on. The world was on fire. America was burning as hell. You know, I just try to remain positive about it, because at the end of the day, even though we saw some discomfort in the media, you know, as far as police brutality, that happens, and it doesn't mean that, you know, all the police are bad. It was just, you know, there are some group of police that went nuts, you know, and we understood that, we saw it, and I'm glad some things were handled appropriately, you know, accordingly. But at the end of the day, cops are there to protect us, you know. So that's why I have to remain positive and look at the flip side. Hey, they do their job. Of course, nobody's perfect. Some people there are gonna be some bad people, but you can't judge just a little percentage of a group based on, you know, like across the board. It's just a little percent. It's like Muslims. Some few percentage of Muslims do some bad things, and then people discriminate all Muslims across the board. It's wrong.
Yep.
It's few people, you know. So police brutality, it was the same thing. That's how I look at it. You know? So I never hate police. You know, I feel like it's just some bad people that are doing bad stuff.
And that's, you know, I hate bringing up the comment section, because the comment section brings out like the dumbest people in the entire world. And I remember seeing comments like, oh, he's complaining about the cops, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I remember specifically responding to one. It's like he's not saying all cops are bad. He had one bad instance.
Yeah.
And I think something that's really unfair that the media does and that people do is that they assume that. I think they assume two things. One, if you say a bad thing about a cop, you hate all cops.
Yeah.
Or if you suggest that cops need to change some sort of thing. Like, my biggest thing is, I think it is the dumbest thing in the world that the guys who are out there that are supposed to prevent murders and protect us from things like that are the ones investigating things like broken taillights. Like, I think traffic laws enforced by police are one of the stupidest things ever, right? That doesn't mean I hate cops, you know? And I've had bad experiences with cops just like the one you shared.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I hate all cops. You were just sharing a thing. And at the same time, I think that the way the narrative went last summer was that it's like cops versus black people. And, you know, if you want to be an ally to black people, you got to be against the police too.
You got to hit the police.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm like, I know most of the black people I know don't hate cops, you know? Most of the people I know don't hate cops. It's like, it's just this false narrative that creates this divisiveness. So I think it's a really interesting analogy too you make with Muslims, and it also reminds me, and I laugh whenever I think about it. I laughed in the video. I'm not laughing at you. You laughed as well. But when you said you're black, you're African, your name's Mohamed, you're Muslim, you got it from all sides. I'm like, man, this is the most discriminated man in America.
Yeah,
That's just man, when I heard that, I was like, man, that's an interesting perspective. And it's one of the reasons I wanted you back on the podcast, other than everybody was asking for you too. People loved you, man.
Yeah, I love them too, man. I went through the comments. I saw some good stuff. And I saw some few negative stuff, but you know, people have their own opinion. They're entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
And it's okay. That's why we are in America. It's freedom of speech. You can say anything. You know.
That's a really cool perspective, man.
Yeah. You know.
How did those? You know, I do wonder, and look, I worry.
Honestly, not to cut you off, but
no, go for it.
I like to bring positivity to the world, no matter how bad things are, because if we think negative, why negative things are happening, it's just gonna make it worse. Things are not gonna like calm down. Somebody gotta be the bigger person. Somebody gotta calm down. Somebody gotta be trying to bring positivity to the world. Even though the cows are going nuts, but still somebody have to, fix it. You know, we have to put our hands together. Not like go against all the cops. Like if it wouldn't have cops, we're gonna be savages out here. Yeah. Bad people here, bro. Yeah. If there's no car, everybody's gonna go nuts. People are gonna be stabbing. You know, people are gonna be stabbing people like just randomly. Yeah. Oh, I don't like you. Pa pa pa. Like authority has to be there. Yeah. To regulate things, to put things in order. Yeah. Of course, nobody's perfect. Every organization are not going to be perfect. There will be some flaws, which is okay. We are human beings. It's just life, man. But we still have to remain positive and put our hands together and find a common solution and keep pushing. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just how I feel. You know, that's how I think.
Now, when everything was happening last summer, as a African American Muslim, like, watching that, like, what was your perspective on it? Like, as it was happening, if you remember.
As it was happening, like, as an African American was
like, from your perspective, but not just, African American is a term that people use for you're, an American from Africa, I guess is what I'm asking. Like, being that, you have that different perspective. Like, what's jumping out to me, the fact that you were talking about you perceive these comments as people have the freedom of speech. I feel like that's something that somebody that's been here all his life may take for granted sometimes. Like, when I see a negative comment, my first thought isn't freedom of speech. My first thought is like, all right, I just got to ignore that. That guy's an idiot. But like, it honestly is kind of interesting to think like, hey man, that's cool that this person has the ability to say that, because I'm sure it's not like that everywhere.
I think that's very important because You know, most third world countries, they are run by dictators, and dictators obviously want their way and their way only. That's it.
Right.
And the population or the civilians, they don't have any right to say anything. They don't have freedom of speech. It makes you feel like you have no voice, like you're not existing. So in America, we have that freedom of speech. That's a big thing. That's powerful, dude. Like you feel like you are being hurt. You are being heard. Because you can say something and not get in trouble, not get kidnapped, not get killed. They don't harm you because of what you said. The government don't kill you because of the things that you said. They see it as he's a human being. He's entitled to make his point across. In America, people take that for granted.
It is crazy because I read about that in books, or I'll hear about it, on a podcast or on a TV show or something. The idea that you say something and the government could come after you. And it's like, I've heard about that, but, it's kind of like I heard about Mars, like I've never actually like experienced it. You know what I mean? Like it's just so foreign to me.
Yeah.
Where it's interesting that you can see a comment on the internet about you that's negative, and not just ignore it, but associate that with free speech. That's a really interesting perspective that I don't think anyone that's ever considered not having free speech would ever have.
That's why America is powerful. That's why America is different, powerful. And it's a good thing. It makes you feel like you are living, you are existing. Even within American families, the kids are allowed to speak their mind to their parents. Versus African family, no. Your mom, your dad, whatever they say, that's it. You have no say.
My mom always said that.
Yeah, but here, kids are allowed to speak their mind. They're allowed to talk to their parents politely, but still pass their point across without getting in trouble. In my culture, kids, they are scared to talk because they get in trouble all the time. The mom smack their butt, or the dad smack their butt for speaking certain things, and that's something I don't like about my culture per se. The fact that you don't have that freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You speak, they think you're being disrespectful. In actuality, you're not being disrespectful. You just express your feeling, how you feel. African parents that are living in America, they learn little by little. They open up to their kids. They open up now. But traditional Africans, it's different.
Yeah.
Straight. Very straight. The kids are scared to speak up, to talk, to be close.
Makes me think of the idea of like you are who you surround yourself with. There's that saying like you are the average of your 5 best friends or the 5 people you're close with. But it even makes me think like just being around just your family, like what happens in your household is insulated, but just being around other people, seeing how other families interact, maybe overhearing coworkers' conversations, whatever it is. Like if you're hearing a coworker talking about like, oh my God, my kid was complaining about this, that, and the other, your father might have been like, what do you mean he's complaining? We don't, like, what are you talking about? But, eventually like oh, so this is how they do it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, if I was in Africa and I was like, what country?
Guinea.
Guinea, okay, yeah.
So,
if I was in Guinea and I, said my kid was complaining and everyone around me was like, your kid shouldn't complain, eventually I'd be like, yo, kid, shut the hell up. This is how we do things now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is, my dad from Guinea, my mom Nigeria.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I'm a mixture.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you say your culture, what is there?
I'm speaking of both.
Both?
They're both similar.
There's not, gotcha.
They're both similar.
Gotcha. I have no geography of Africa. I don't know. Are those countries close or?
Yeah, they're all in the west.
Gotcha. Okay.
They don't share borders, but they're all in the west, in the same area. I remember my dad never even went to my soccer game, even though I was a good soccer player. They don't see those things as a way to bond with their kids.
Yeah.
They don't see that as a connection. American culture, I've seen it a lot. dad, mom, oh my God.
They'll change their whole...
They will change everything. Schedule.
Yeah.
They will base their schedule according to their kids' sport games. You know, if they're traveling to go play, they will go with them.
They'll travel like 2-3 hours. Yeah. I noticed that, and I'm like, if that's what having kids is about, I'm out.
And at the same time, I understand. African parents, when they come, they have to work double shift. But I still feel like you should have some time for your kids. You should make time. You should try and make time for them. It means a lot. I used to get mad. My mom never showed up to my game. But at the end of the day, I understand. That's the culture. That's the way it's been happening since I wasn't even existing.
Yeah. I also think part of it is we have so much more time now. You know, like in the 1800s, all people were worried about was like finding food, you know, and not starving, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you know, they didn't have high school soccer teams in the 1800s. Well, if they did, I'm sure they were like really fancy schools.
I don't think we all human beings, we're on different level. I feel like people should know how to, you know, how to connect with their children. It's important. Sometimes I don't know how to treat certain things like the way I should have. You know, like when it comes to like relationship kind of, because I didn't really see that connection with me and my dad or my dad and my mom. You know, that wasn't no love kind of. You know, it was just you know, it's a marriage. You know, it's like a duty. You know, it's a marriage. Like, you know, let's marry. Let's have produce kids. You know.
Man, it's so funny. I keep going back to my mom's grandparents, so my great grandparents. She always said the same thing. Like it was actually an arranged marriage.
Yeah. My parents was arranged marriage.
Oh, really?
My mom was like, I think 18 when she got married to my dad. My dad was in his 30s. You know, they got married.
Oh, okay.
And it was arranged marriage. My mom didn't have no say.
Did they know each other before it all? Or?
No.
Yeah, same with my great grandparents.
They introduced my mom to my dad, and it was like, that's a future husband. I would say.
That's
before,
it.
You know, a couple months, they getting married. She was in high school. She didn't have no say.
Yeah.
And then that's why I'm gonna cycle back to parents listening to their kids. If my granddad and my grandma would have listened to my mom didn't want to get married to my dad.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't even ready. She was young.
Yeah. You
but
said
she
18,
didn't have no say in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you go to high school here or no?
I came when I was 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a good high school?
It was
soccer team?
Yeah. Our high school was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I came, it was good. When I came straight from Africa, oh my God, I used to train twice a day. I was in shape. I was good as hell.
I understand
you know,
soccer or football, as you call it.
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the world is a lot better than what it is here in America.
Yeah. Because over there, they play with passion.
Yeah.
They play with passion, with love. It's like their life depends on it.
Yeah.
America, man, they just play for fun. They don't really care.
Two of my buddies that you met, they both played soccer in college. They were really good, and they played in college.
Yeah, I did too. I played 4 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 different colleges, 2 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. Where at?
Oh, yeah. So I went to Branathan.
And
then Immaculata.
Okay, yeah. Immaculata, that's when I was driving you.
Yeah,
you were going there.
Go.
Yeah. There was snow on the ground, so I don't know if you were playing soccer in that, but I didn't know you played in college. That's sick.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I kick asses, man.
Yeah?
I kick asses.
I'll have to get out there on the field with you. I played in an intramural league, but I'm terrible at soccer. I can play all right defense. I can't kick the ball worth anything.
Yeah, at some point, even my coach wanted me to try out for the Eagles.
Oh, really?
To be a kicker.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried kicking a football?
Football, I tried a couple times.
Yeah?
I was okay.
You got a leg to it?
Yeah, I was okay. I feel like if I would have practiced a little bit more, I would have been better.
Yeah.
But I didn't follow up, you know.
Yeah.
I just feel it off. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, my coach was like, yo, we should go. You should go try out, man.
Yeah.
I think you gonna make it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But that was young. I didn't really pay attention. Yeah. I could have been making millions now, bro.
Yeah.
Kicker. That's what I do.
And that's an easy job.
Let's go ahead and kick.
Yep.
And put you on the bench.
Yeah.
And then get money, get paid.
Yep.
Like, I don't even care about the sport. I just want to go there and kick the ball. Yeah.
Well, look, man, I know you gotta roll, but before we bounce, you gotta rate this. What did you think?
Oh man, this Cheesesteak was delicious.
Yeah, you liked it?
It's good. Listen, it was.
If you were to give it a grade, what would you give it?
5/5. 5/5.
What about like a rating scale, like A, B?
I'll give it A.
A?
I'll give it A. Yeah, I liked it. I was fucking it up, but it started dripping on my clothes.
Yeah, my bad.
I had to stop. Yeah,
I hope that comes out.
It was good. It was juicy. It was good.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it like a B. You know, this is Jim's. Jim's is like one of the famous cheesesteaks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I know.
But this is Jim's Springfield. Jim's in the city, I think, would be a little better. So,
yeah.
I think on a scale of like 1 to Philly, it tastes like a good Philly establishment that moved out to the suburbs and took it a little easy on its execution. But still a good cheesesteak.
Yeah, I like it because the cheesesteak was kind of thick. Like the steak was thicker.
And see, I don't like that. I like it real chopped up.
This guy.
I honestly was probably being a little generous with the B. I just didn't want to undercut your score too much. You love steak, though.
Yeah, I love steak.
Dude, I'll never forget. I think it was that same night we talked about when we closed the bar down. You FaceTimed me at like 3 a.m. and you were cooking steak and you invited me over. And I was like, dude, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you go to bed way early, bro.
I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I tell you, like every day I get comments on random videos. It's like, bring Mohamed back. We want Mohamed. I was like, I'm trying. He's a busy man.
Hey, dude, listen, man. It was nice catching up with you,
dude, this was awesome. It was really, I know we were kind of rushed. I'd love to have you back on here. Next time I see a negative comment, I'm definitely appreciating my First Amendment right, because that is one of the most unique perspectives I think I've heard.
Yeah. People like us in Africa, you can't criticize the government.
That's crazy.
Nothing. You get lost.
You get lost.
You get lost. Nobody know what happened.
You get lost.
You get lost, brother.
You got lost.
Yeah, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
People go on social media. People go on the media, the TV, and criticize the government. Yeah. And it's okay.
Yeah.
That's powerful, bro. Shit.
Yeah, man.
All right, bro.
I'll let you know when I share this. Yeah. And if I title it Uncomfortable Cheesesteaks with a Black Man, don't take offense.
Yeah. No, bro. You good, man.
It's for the clicks.
You good, bro. I don't care.